Among my people, we have a lot of metaphors, linguistically, that depict this whole notion of community, this whole notion of relationship. So knowing the language and knowing the stories that are associated with the language is really the way you learn, and the way that a lot of this gets embodied in you through time as you're growing up. So one term that we use, that my grandmother actually used to use, but other elders would use, would be Homlindapi. We are all but corn. So, of course, that metaphor means many things, but if you're in the public community, what it means, and everyone understands this, is that we are all members of this community. In biology, this is called unity in diversity. So if you take a look at these multicolored kernel corn, cobs of corn, you'll see that each kernel is an individual. It's a unique color, shape, form. Its characteristic is that it leans up against other kernels in this structure called the corn cob. So individuality is respected in indigenous society, very, very deeply so. But it's also the understanding that we all are part of the same corn cob. We all lean against each other. So our individual talents and traits support the other, kernels as they reflect and as they sit up. So for me, this includes education for the recreation of education and health around indigenous community paradigms, beginning by learning the history and principles of your indigenous ways of education, exploring ways to translate that into the present. Researching the practical ways to apply these indigenous principles and knowledge bases. And this is really the gist of the work that many indigenous scholars are doing today. In terms of cultural revitalization, community revitalization, in a sense, this application, if you will, of the transformative thought. Shared principles for change, we have many of them. Place-based, traditional environmental knowledge, complex systems view. We do have many expressions of complex systems view, in the ways in which we operate as communities. And we're trying to get those back. We're trying to revitalize those. We do have resourcefulness, industriousness, collaboration and cooperation, the ability to integrate difference in political organization, building alliances and confederations, trade and exchange. Now again, I emphasize that while I'm talking about an indigenous view, much of this also is inclusive of what I think really has to happen. Because it's one thing to, in a sense, contemplate what transformation is. It's quite another to apply it and to learn how to apply it. And I will tell you that both have to go hand in hand. The ability to do it, in terms of inner work, but also the ability to apply it in terms of outer. So that's what I'm showing you. I'm showing you how, and from an indigenous perspective, using our own history, our own traditions, our own social systems, our own perspectives, how we get back to some of this